Hello. Hi there. We're gonna do this. Well, hello and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Priestess Gorgêous. I'll be your oracle today. Hi. We're gonna be doing the 1111 Divine Lovers series for December. I just smudged the deck, and we're gonna go ahead and begin. So, what I'll do is probably eventually record like a video that'll explain my take on the divine partnerships and stuff like that. I'll do just a little tiny bit here. We're going to be using the Tarot of the Sun and Moon by Vanessa DeCourt. I like this deck a lot, especially for love. The author is a children's book author out of Belgium. She makes a lot of like little cute stuff, and what I really like about this deck is that it was the first deck that I used when I started doing love readings. So it was the deck that I came onto the map with, so I quite like it. And for the other cards, for the keys to the universe, I'll be using the, per usual, the Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris Thoth Tarot. Okay, so it's 11 by 11 cards. So I have the energy, and then I have basically what we need to do, like what the healing would be or what the next step would be. And then we also have the combined energy here in the center. And I accidentally put a card down here in the center. I like to usually put an oracle card, but I'll pull one, so it'll be, instead of 22, it'll be 23, which is fine because, you know, this is Scorpio month, and Scorpio is what rules over like occult and psychism and, you know, those kinds of things. Okay, so I know what card it is. I'll leave it for the end of the reading, and we'll have an extra card just for this month. Okay, and it's on the grounds of something, so I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Okay. Whew, so let's just breathe for a second. And hello and welcome if you're just getting in the room. Again, my name is Priestess Gorgêous. I'll be your oracle today. It's an honor and a delight and a privilege and a pleasure to serve you. Okay. Now, divine love could be for anybody, regardless if you're, you know, cisgendered, gender non-binary, if you're homosexual, heterosexual, don't care, don't matter. If you feel like the universe put you and somebody else in the same path to heal together, grow together, great, this is for you. And I will refer to the feminine and the masculine. So think of the feminine and the masculine as an archetype, not so much a gender. You could be born a male or in a male body and still be embodying in the divine partnership the female archetype, okay? But if you are the female archetype, you're going to be on the receiving side. So that's over here, the yin, okay? And over here will be the yang, that's the masculine side. And typically the masculine, traditionally when we're not in a really cloudy, deceptive third dimension, the masculine would be the one who's chasing and the feminine will be the one who's running. But right now, with the current dynamics of the third dimension, since we're in an ego-based society called the New World, typically it's the feminine who's doing the chasing and the masculine who's doing the running. In a more divine society, it would be, the roles would be switched. Okay, so again, it's not about gender, it's about the archetype. The feminine is the more receptive, nurturing person, and she typically would manifest according to magnetism, okay? Meaning she would attract into her life what she wants versus going after it like the masculine archetype. Now, again, some women are masculine in their nature, especially if you're a fire or an air sign. You would be a go-getter. You wouldn't wait for things to come to you. But typically the masculine archetype would be the one who goes out, grabs, and brings back to the partnership. Okay, so let's begin here. I just need my wand. All right. just gonna smudge these real quick. Okay, great. So I'm hearing that Coyote song. Can't fight the moonlight, no, no, you can't fight it. I didn't warm up my voice today, so I can actually sing. I'm a child performer from LA, you know, comes with the territory. So yeah, can't fight the moon. Deep in the dark, you surrender your heart. Don't you? I'm hearing that. Don't you know? Don't you know? Hey, it's coming through. Can't fight the moonlight. Okay, so that, hey, if that resonates with you, great. That's a message for somebody. It's not, my intuition isn't pinpointing what the message is. So if the song keeps playing during the reading, I'll know what it is. So this is Scorpio month, but it's December. So we're actually doing the reading for, well, let me think about it here for a second. Okay, so I'm going to be speaking to the feminine archetype. And the way that I do it is each month I alternate. So the masculine signs, which are the air and the fire signs, I'll speak to the masculine directly that month. Of course, the feminine, please listen. And then the feminine months, which are water and earth signs, I'll speak to the feminine directly. So, of course, masculine, listen. And then just remember, the archetypes here, the way that it works is that the feminine, the universe is feminine in its nature. The expression of the universe is feminine. The consciousness of the universe is masculine. So what'll happen is typically the feminine is always receiving the masculine is always going towards the feminine. And you can tell that mystery by looking at the Magician card and the High Priestess card. You'll notice the High Priestess has the mysteries open and revealed to, at least to herself, in her lap, but the masculine has the Torah, the mysteries, rolled up, meaning closed, on the desk. So he still needs to manifest the knowledge of himself and the knowledge of the mysteries and the knowledge of the hidden, right? She already can reveal it to him. So that's kind of the feminine's job, is to unlock the masculine. I believe the masculine's job is to provide, stability, and the feminine's job is to provide balance, to harmonize, to make it a very flowing, effervescent connection. So on the feminine side, we enter the month in with the Hierophant, and that's with the energy of the King of Cups. So, the Hierophant talks about a union, talks about bonds, it talks about contracts, agreements, responsibilities. It also talks about the structure and the structure of the foundation, so the structure of the material plane. And it seems here like she's really utilizing spiritual technology to master her emotional body or emotional self, and she could be a water sign too. So especially, Scorpio, but to a lesser degree, Cancer and Pisces. I'm hearing Scorpio and Pisces right now, because mirroring that on his side, he's just come out of a dark journey of the soul. And so I think there's been a recollection in the spiritual plane or the astral plane of this connection. And I feel that they're co-dreaming. So they're visiting each other in their dreams. So that's telepathic communication. It's not quite heart-to-heart communication yet. Somebody's heart's not open because he has the energy of the Two of Swords. Okay? And what that'll do is it'll close the heart up and it'll make the person overly mental. And see, the thing about that energy is that at masculine, I'm going to, feminine, typically when you get the Two of Swords in an opposing energy is because the other person doesn't know how they feel, so they're overthinking. Because they're actually afraid of their emotions, or they're afraid of what's hidden, or afraid of what's to come. And not always bad things are to come. A lot of times people have a challenge being divergent, departing from a former foundation. Some people aren't good with change, and that's what I'm picking up here. Their response to that is the astral connection of the lovers. So spiritually, psychically, they're aware that there's a connection here. We have the feminine on the board, and we have the lovers on the board twice. Okay, so there will be a leap of faith into this connection, whether it's in the physical or the spiritual this month. Now, that's the overall energy that we enter the month in. So they've been operating under deceptive archetypes based off their conditioning, this couple here, this partnership. And it's what they were grown up knowing, especially the masculine. They were in a world of hurt because they were trying to address their life mentally from the left brain, and it wasn't working out. So what they've had to do is ratchet down, ratchet down, ratchet down, ratchet down, slowly remove, slowly remove, slowly remove, and slowly but surely face up to the things that were terrifying. And it did happen. It happened slowly, but it happened somewhere before this month began. So just so you know, the divine partnership readings are new moon to new moon. The revolving door karmic partnership series are full moon to full moon. So just so you know. So this is going to talk about what's to come, and let's talk about that now. So, you know, the obstacle challenge for the feminine here is that she's working on resurrecting this connection, which is interesting because I feel personally it's because she feels still committed to this connection, and she's walking away, but the offer is still on the table. So I think she's realizing, hey, I still love this person, but maybe if I starve my feelings of love and devotion, then I can perhaps be free of this connection if he's not going to manifest himself. And as I say he and she, I realize that there's some same sex, not, you know, so what, however you identify in the relationship, whatever role you play. So the sacrifice for her is to have things balance and work out correctly. Okay. And I see the couple here. They're not coming out in the Emperor and the Empress. Okay. So as you end the month, I do feel that feminine, it's almost like you're going to feel like you can't create the connection this month. But it's there because you're supported by the sun. And he's supported by the Magician, but there's the Fool's in reverse, so he's either overly cautious, which is what I'm feeling, and you're looking at him doubt and hesitate the connection, which is, it's something according to the mental faculties I'm hearing. But another thing about it is that this connection is going to startle him because, again, the epiphanies keep coming. It's like he's unable to escape falling back into the psychic energy, and you're unable to release the psychic energy, and the psychic energy between the two of you is very strong and it won't go anywhere. So let's look at this a little bit. So this position here, the second position, is the challenge, the obstacle, you know, the conflict. She's trying to resurrect, you know, judgment card in reverse. She's working on Eight of Pentacles, resurrecting the connection, or looking for a second chance of some kind. And that doesn't resonate. It's resurrection. And what it is he's sitting in the knowledge of the soul connection. And I feel like it's not a new thing, but it's a new revelation to him. Like maybe finally he's figured out what he was afraid of. Not in the connection, but he was fearful of something. And I think it's because now he's aware, oh, this is this person who might be pretty significant to me. I've tried to push this out, push this back, delay, postpone, and maybe I'm not able to do that. Now, I do see that there's some type of postponement. He has the Hangman. We'll get to there in a minute. But this level here right now is archetypes. So this is someone who would have the feminine. You would have had to have walked away, or you need to be willing to walk away and just own your power, own your energy, be secure in yourself, or it's not going to manifest. I'm going to say that. Okay, so masculine, how you're mirroring her, feminine, how this energy is being mirrored back to you is that there would be psychic communication, telepathic, shared dreaming. It won't be heart-to-heart communication yet. I'm not seeing a Two of Cups. I'm not seeing an Ace of Cups. But I am seeing cups starting to emerge. They're just not the right cups. Okay, we have a Two of Swords, which negates the Two of Cups every time. All right, so, you know, the sacrifice to make on the masculine side is that they're going to need to meditate. They're going to need to be calm, be still, and be devoted to the proper perspective. See, I can already tell the masculine is trying to manifest this relationship according to mental technology. That's not how a divine love connection works. So that would be a blockage, frankly, because you have the hangman on his side and he's looking for a different perspective, okay? So right now he's confused because he's a divine creature hanging down in the matrix, the material plane, and he's trying to figure out what this... So snakes always talk about like something from thousands of years ago or knowledge from thousands of years ago. The snake represents archaic knowledge. It also represents resting energy, which is the kundalini. And it seems like, oh, okay, so they just told me that, funnily enough, the feminine's kundalini has risen and the masculine's hasn't. And the sacrifice, he needs it to rise in order for this to be a twin flame connection. Because right now it's just catalytic soulmates. And they were karmic soulmates, but the energy is dissipating. So we'll talk more about that later. Yeah, your feelings are worth exploring and they're very real. So we'll talk about that later. Now, the focus on the feminine side is the fact that this is a cycle. That the passion will return at the right proper time. I want to show you the strength card because it's different than the typical deck. Okay, so it's a wolf here with that moon, and this is tarot of the sun and moon. But you notice that butterfly there, the transformation. Okay, and she's riding that wolf. So I feel like this is the feminine willing to work with the masculine if he's willing to communicate. And I don't think they've been communicating in the physical. And that Wheel of Fortune means that this person is, they're going to have a sudden movement of like a burst of compassion and a burst of courage. So I don't know what the feminine's going to do. I might just clarify that right now. Let me tell you the mirroring energy on the masculine side. That card came out right away. Wow. Okay, so, you know, on the masculine side, there's disharmony in this connection, probably because there's a fear of the commitment here, or said differently, he's just almost about ready to take a leap of faith. I feel like he might be trying to leave a baby mama, which I hate to say, or leave a former person, and I do feel like up until recently, they were commingled financially with somebody, so they might have had obligations that they needed to, you know, fulfill. Those kinds of words, you know, do the right thing. I keep detecting with this masculine, they have this belief that they need to do right by the feminine, or they need to not do what happened to their family. So whatever happened when they were young in their parents' relationship, they don't want that to replicate in their own life. And that's something I need to say to the masculine. You know, if you're operating and manifesting from a place of fear, what you're going to do is call in the thing that you are fearful of the most. Whatever you're acting on is what you're going to call into your life. So by thinking, you create it. By acting, you receive it. If you're constantly thinking about your fears and then you move to avoid them or prevent them, what you actually do is call them in. Okay? So focus only on what you want. Put what you don't want out of your mind. You know, honor it and then let it go. You know that it's there, know that it has power, let it communicate whatever it needs to communicate to you, which is normally a need that you have in your connections, in your relationships, platonic or otherwise, and then release that fear. You know, what I do personally, my own medicine, this works for me, it might not work for you, is I define what my fear is, and then I ask myself where it came from. And I do this by a very simple model. I teach this in my coaching. What am I wanting? What am I thinking? What am I needing? That's called together, collectively, what's alive in you. So masculine, figure out what's alive in you, because there's disharmony here in this connection, and that's your focus right now. So you have the Fool card supporting this Lover's card here in reverse. So it means there's either a breakup or there's a third party or there's disharmony in the connection. And what I'm feeling is like you're just about released from your former partnership, frankly. Yeah, and let's read this over here. Let me just move the camera real quick. Okay, there we go. So this Wheel of Fortune, okay, universally what it's saying is that there's a lack of progress right now because someone needs to rest. And I feel like the feminine has been resting, and now she's about to move on, and she's going to discover that this is not over. And then the masculine also, so the progress is not coming from the masculine side, but the masculine, see, the masculine needs to do some, needs to have a, so the masculine is completely avoiding spirituality. They need to have spiritual conversations and move into their spirit body. So they're literally their etheric body. They have a disconnection from the etheric body. By the way, that will deeply affect your Kundalini masculine, I just want to say. So yeah, I have a confirmation on that Kundalini read that I got earlier. That was a little bit of an offshoot, and it's confirmed here. Okay, so the masculine is completely halted, completely stunted right now. He may also be fighting. So feminine, if you don't have a Leo moon, an Aries moon, a Sagittarius moon, he may be fighting with his former connection, because it does seem like you might be waiting on a divorce or waiting on a decree of some kind. And I think you're actually going to try to move on this month, because the Six of Swords is hidden here. But you have the Ten of Swords above it in reverse, which means something that you thought died didn't die, something that you thought ended didn't end. Or a betrayal turns out later on not to be what you thought. Those are all the meanings of the Ten of Swords, because it's going to be different strokes for different folks. Now, collectively in this partnership here, there is a need to collaborate on moving to higher ground. So somebody needs to help the other one gain a little bit of emotional maturity. And it's just saying, like, the physical body is ready. Like, the body even can feel the instincts. Like, I think in the dream, somebody's even getting aroused because they're co-dreaming together. I can sense that the instinctual, the intellect of the body, like, you know, your instincts, your fight or flight mechanism, which is more than fight or flight. You know, there's joy, there's hunger, there's satiation, there's thirst, there's, you know, I'll wake up in the morning, have a spontaneous desire to dance around my room for a little bit. So those are all kind of consciousness of the body. And that's what's under the domain of the Page of Pentacles. And then, you know, underneath that, let's just elaborate a little bit. Underneath that, we have the Seven of Pentacles too. So that means that there's been investments made, and she's waiting on going on this journey. And she's on her high ground. She has figured out what her vision is and what she's willing to deal with. So she's given it about another week, literally. She's given it about another week, and she's like, okay, I'm going to let whatever opportunity come through. So I want this relationship, but I'm not going to put my life on hold for it. And I think up until recently she was, because there was an internal conflict of some kind, and she didn't know how to manage the darkness coming out. So every time she would look, every time she would dream, every time she would do a reading or seek guidance, not the most positive things would come out. And now all of a sudden she's like gonna drop anything that's not working, and she feels like this partnership and this friendship is gone, and she doesn't feel respected. But again, an opportunity comes through, so we'll see. And that's the Wheel of Fortune. So she's waiting for things to fall into place, either with or without him. So she has some plans for her own. And she is finding her courage, by the way, so she may end up leaving if he doesn't lock it down. And I'm not a big fan of that word, but that's what's coming through right now, so I'll say it, even though I don't like it. Now, the focus on the masculine, how he's mirroring her is, again, I think he's trying to get out of some partnership, or there's disharmony in this relationship if the two are together and they've already met in the physical, like meaning shared bed pleasures. Because you meet, and that's when you have the spiritual union activates. But oftentimes, if it's a real twin flame or real life partnership, beyond catalytic soulmates, typically there's no sex until all the karma gets removed. And I know both parties are still working through karma. I feel the feminine a little bit less than the masculine, because she has that strength card supporting her and that Wheel of Fortune. So that's very, very, very positive and very favorable for her. And she also, I'm getting, has a deep sense of compassion now that she didn't have before, regardless of whatever his issue. So again, she won't be feeling betrayed anymore if she did feel betrayed in the past. It might be that there was some type of revelation where the assumptions she made about his character turned out not to be as firm. Yeah, there was a little bit of truth to it, but not the whole truth, you know. So the sacrifice to be made is to wait. So this is, you need to do things the right way. Karmic justice. So what it's saying here is, yeah, y'all are soulmates, and there will be a reunion and a reconciliation. Six of Cups. Let me show you closer. You see why I like the Tarot of the Sun and Moon for love readings. I think this deck is so cute. Look at them. So they're going to return to a childlike nature, playfulness, abundance, joy, a bond, a deep soul bond. And it's going to have to be exactly that because, again, somebody's still under the devil energy. It says they both are, since this is the middle is the shared energy. Okay, but it's dissipated. So one person left and is no longer stuck in that cycle, and the other person, it's still dissipating. Now, I'd rather this card didn't come out because that would mean there is no devil energy. So the devil energy is there, but it's dissipating in reverse, and one person has completely left that cycle. It's the feminine who left that cycle. All right? So the masculine is still stuck. The masculine doesn't know how to address the emotions. They need to figure out what their emotions are and why they feel what they feel. He needs some spiritual technology, frankly. All you need to do is sit down and meditate, or you can program your subconscious before you go to sleep and wake up having all the answers. It's got to be honest about that. So, you know, the way the situation evolves this month with the feminine, she's going to feel like this is the combination of a miscarriage. Now, let me translate, because unless you are pregnant, that's not going to happen. So, Empress in reverse with the Sun card upright. What that means, well, the Sun card's always going to be upright. These are both in reverse. It means that something's hidden from her. She's unable to collaborate or to create something. So she's unable to bring this connection to fruition this month. And that's because the masculine is uncertain what he wants. Excuse the noise in the background. So with this Fool in reverse, what that means, supported by the Magician card. Look at this Magician. I think it's really cute. And see, it is about love because look, in the Sun card on her side, they have, so I always know that it's the Lover's card, the lack of decision or the wrong decision. After you make a love decision, because it's a head or heart decision, if there's two people in the Sun card, you made a decision for love. So and the Justice card in the supporting energy didn't come out. So I have a feeling he discovered that he made the wrong decision for the relationship. That's going to be for some of you. For others of you, he needs to get out of a former partnership. And I feel like there is some type of commitment. Like there's a contract with that Two of Swords. Two of Swords can also mean a contract. I mean, that's the Moon in Libra. So there's been something that they've both been collaborating on. The masculine and someone that's not the feminine here, like a previous partner of his. And I actually feel like he left that behind, but they were still financially supporting. Maybe there's a child or a home or mortgage. They put the house on the market, something like that. Because that could be the devil in reverse too. Like you were really stuck and now you're just a little bit stuck, maybe until escrow closes or until she, gets her first paycheck so the ex or the baby mama can move out of his house or, that, because it's not as bad as here. Okay. And that is what I'm detecting, and I'm getting a confirmation on that. So he needs to figure out what he wants. He needs to figure out also how to do his spiritual technology, because he needs, meditation, astral projection, astral travel, and he needs to get in contact with his true soul so that his kundalini can rise. It could also mean that he was sex addicted. It is. Also, some of the masculines, not every masculine, but some of the masculines were sex addicted. So what was going on is that, if you're playing with yourself all the time and you're discharging your energy, seminal or otherwise, your kundalini is not going to rise. You need to learn how to reverberate that energy around your aura and raise it. Call in more energy. Call upon more chi. Call upon more ashe and raise it all the way to your crown. If it keeps dispersing from your lower self, what do you think the devil is? The devil is your lower self. This is your higher self. Okay. But again, the Magician also talks about the unawakened human. And this is the process of awakening here. So it all makes sense to me. Let me see what else I was going to clarify. So I'm going to clarify this. I'll clarify the devil next, and then something's coming through. Let me. Yeah, so remember that song Deep in the Dark? You surrender your heart, don't you know that you... Okay, so sorry about that. I just wanted to speed those lyrics up. He's having trouble taking the leap of faith into his heart. He wants to be in his mind so he can be safe. That's a crock. You ain't gonna get no divine love partnership doing that, homie. I'm just gonna tell you right now. No, 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 no. You don't love with your mind. You don't love with your ego. You do not do it. Do not do it. That's what I gotta say to you, masculine. So if you need to take a leap of faith into your heart, get it done. Get it done. Because that's what's going to get your girl, homie. This is what I got to say. So I'm going to do this Empress, and then I'll do that Devil. And then if we have time in the end, I'll do the Fool on his side. Can't fight the moonlight. And then he is fighting it. It ain't gonna work though, because look at this Fool card. This is a message to Ajakpa too. So believe it or not, the crocodile and the lion, but the crocodile and the tiger really represents us. Just look up Ajakpa. If you don't know how to spell it, I'm not going to help you. I'm not trying to be rude about it. It's just, you don't need to open up that can. If it doesn't already appeal to you, leave it alone for now. Yeah, so there's some healing here. So yeah, it's a soulmate connection. It just seems like there's some type of delay or postponement. Ooh, okay, pardon me. One moment, everyone. Okay, so, what I'm seeing universally is that there are some firm boundaries right now, but they're shifting because the indecision is about to end. Because there will be a divorce decree. So the Two of Swords is moving into the Three of Swords. So that's a divorce decree. Filing for separation, and then it comes through. So, yeah, that's a legal divorce or legal separation. And right now, it makes a Five of Swords. So the two are not talking with firm boundaries. And actually what's going to happen is an offer is going to get made. He's going to come through and say, hey, I did that divorce thing. I broke up with her. And I don't want to be single. I don't want to be alone. I want you. That's what I'm hearing. So, I mean, I can explain it to you, but come to the Mystery School if you want to learn how to read cards. It's like, hey, I'm no longer investing in that relationship. I know you're not investing in me anymore, but I'm ready to make that commitment if you're willing to accept it, because I don't want to be alone, and I needed to do this the right way. I wasn't able to commit before. I was still married. I still was financially commingled. I still, have a child support payment, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. We don't live together or we're separated legally. Let's, do this. You're not a rebound. Don't worry. Let's do this relationship. And he's been anguished. You've been like, okay, homie, I did everything I needed to do to make sure that when I leave, this is the feminine saying this, I did everything I needed to do to make sure that when I leave, I'm not consistently looking back over my shoulder, second guessing. So I've done that work. It's time for me to bounce. And he's been anguished this whole time, being like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Oh my gosh, what do I do? Oh my gosh. Hoping and wishing and praying that she's there when he comes through. Finally, I don't know, I don't see it on his side. He did find some courage, clearly, because he put that anguish behind him and actually made an offer. So he comes through making an offer and saying, by the way, I'm separated. Or by the way, I'm divorced. Or by the way, we don't live together anymore. So it's like a double, here's my love, and by the way, we can go for this now because I'm separated or divorced, or she doesn't live with me. Okay? So, we still have a whole 11 minutes. Okay. Oops. Oops. I put the card in there. I didn't take the major arcana out, the Empress. Okay, there we go. So since we have lots of time, let's go ahead and read on this Fool and read on the Devil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, un momento, por favor. That song will not go away. Can't fight the moonlight. Go listen to it, yo. No, you can't fight it. No, matter what you do, the night is gonna get to you. Well, this is the night, the moon card. The moon card is the night. And he's gone through that dark journey of the soul. Look, he traveled through his darkness, figured out his divine self, his shadow self, and now he found his light. And that's why we have this Two of Swords, because he's ready to divorce, and he's ready to come and make an offer. King of Cups. It's Two of Swords. Here we go yet again. And on her side, she finds out, well, this is his side, actually. So the legal divorce comes here, or the legal separation, and it says here that, well, the Ace of Wands in reverse, that's normally a second chance or an opportunity that needs to be improved upon, or an opportunity that needs to be discussed more than a little bit. Because on her side, she has this Knight in reverse. So, you know, he's going to be making an offer. He's going to be coming through. And the Knight of Wands in reverse is always the ex-boyfriend coming back. I'm sorry. It could be upright or reverse. If I see certain energies around that Knight of Wands, King of Wands in some decks, I know it's the ex coming back, and that is exactly what's going on here. So this couple has been separated because it started out deceptively, but it quickly caught feelings. Oh, he came through for sex when they first came together, and now he's like, but there's so much more on the table here than just sex. Duh. Get it together, homie. You'll figure it out. You're doing a good job. Normally I want to cuss you out, but buddy, I just want you to hurry up right now, you know. So that's good. I don't have the anger that, you know, I just flow. There's no anger flowing through me for the masculine right now. And I thought it would be a bad month for the masculine because it's Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So we're in a good shape here this month, Divine Lovers. This is actually not so bad. It's a little heartbreaking because there's a lot of postponements, but I actually have a little bit of hope. It is so hard for me to hope, and I got some hope here. So let's talk about this. Universally for this partnership right now, clarifying this Fool in reverse on the masculine side, what it's saying is that the anguish is just about over, and there's going to be a communication to completely leave the Nine of Swords energy behind completely. Okay? And collectively, somebody finally gets a message from their soul body. I feel like the masculine has been in love and been in love and been in love and been in love and wanting and wanting and wanting the feminine to reach out, but finally the masculine sends a message. Because the feminine is silent. The feminine is like, okay, I'm starting to get hit on again. I'm starting to go out. I'm starting to get other opportunities, but nobody feels the way to me like you do. Excuse me. And so I think what I'm seeing here is a save. Like just in the nick of time, y'all came back together before permanently not being together. You know? Sierra, ask me that again, and I'll tell you a lot about it. I'm not going to talk about it in the lovers. I actually need to silence these comments. You can ask me if you know me, or you can ask me, and I'll let you know. But I'm not going to explain that right now. So this is good. This is really good. Universally, let me just repeat: a message comes through that the hardest part is over. And somebody's been in love. Believe it or not, it's the masculine who's been in love, wanting, hoping, wishing, praying, yearning for the feminine. But he's been under some silly impression that she's going to reach out. But the thing is, she already spilled everything to him. She already confessed the love and confessed the deep emotions and confessed the wanting more than just sex. And the masculine's been sitting there waiting for some silly reason. And I see this a lot, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to most women that come through, that the masculine will will not accept a love offer from the feminine, but for some reason the masculine feels rejected. And that means the ego. The ego was the one controlling the masculine because he's in his thought forms, not in his heart. Okay, so let's do this double energy and then we'll close the reading. Boom, dada, there you go. This is a bona fide relationship. It's gonna go all the way. Do you wanna be my everything? And you're ready to see it through this time. You're ready for love. Then this I will bring. I'm not gonna wait for you forever. This time, la-di-da, ayo. All right, so the devil energy is talking about removing all the other options before we go directly into the love, okay? And collectively, what's going on is that the spirit body has yet to make a movement towards a spiritual foundation. That's the Four of Wands and the Queen of Wands in reverse. And there's an option here for the feminine to accept an offer. See, the feminine has already gotten her foundation correct. What's happening is she's spending time with her friend, she's going out, she's doing whatever she needs to do to heal, and she's like, okay, listen, he's still an option, but now if he does come through, we're gonna have to have a conversation. I'm just not gonna jump into his arms and be all backwards and crazy. I'm gonna come correct and be real and straight up. It ain't gonna be a nice conversation. I'm gonna have a pointed conversation and I will find out every bit of truth, or it's a no deal. And, you know, 2 pages or 2 princesses in the thought deck means a call to action. 2 knights or princes in the thought deck means a call to arms. And 2 knights came out in the previous reading and 2 pages came out in this reading. So we had a Knight of Wands and a Knight of Pentacles, and now we have a Page of Cups and a Page of Swords. So that's tough love from the feminine, and that is ego from the masculine. The masculine had to do that whole man thing. I gotta have my money right. I gotta be divorced. I gotta be separated. I gotta have a room for her. Yada yada yada. You know, doing everything but going in the direction of the love, thinking that you need to come with all of your ducks in a row. No, homie, you need to communicate what's alive in you. Declare your love. The rest will fall together. And I'm not saying be stupid. I'm not saying put your life on hold. I'm not saying go broke and bankrupt and be destitute. I ain't saying quit your job and camp out in front of her house. I ain't saying none of that. But I'm saying, dude, if you use your mind instead of your heart to manifest this relationship, you will fail. I don't know a nicer way to say that. Okay, so that's Fifi Dobson sings that song, and it's called Everything. Dobson. She's an Canadian artist. She's a contemporary of Avril Lavigne. It's from high school. The song just came through. So let's read this down. So universally, what's happening is that the feminine has been resting and healing, and she gets a message from the masculine's heart. It might even come in her dreams, frankly. And she does. Somebody has a conversation. It's a text message. It's a text message. It's a text message. It's a text message. And see, the truth doesn't come out right away, but they have to communicate about the love. See, she needs him to communicate emotionally. Not strategically saying, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do this, and that, and that, and this. No, 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 no. Communicate emotionally. Tell me what's alive in you. Tell me what your heart wants, not what your mind thinks it's going to do, not what your ego thinks it has control of. When I do that, it means like, okay, let's be clear, because anything else will be me coming for you. So here's the thing as well. There's something hidden, and it's hidden from the female, but what it is love. And see, her instincts were making her fearful because she was horny. I'm just going to say it. Pardon me. I mean, this is a family channel, but this ain't my personal channel. So that's exactly what it is. And he was fearful. Listen to that song. Do you want to be my everything? Are you ready to see this through this time? Are you ready for love? Then this I will bring, but I'm not gonna wait for you forever. This time, la-di-da. That song is like super loud in my head. It will not calm down. So he's going to come through and she's going to be like, look, homie, I ain't putting out for no nothing short of a commitment. What you got for me? What you got? And he's going to give that everything. 10 of Pentacles, baby. Best card in the minor arcana. He's going to lay down everything. A full lifelong commitment. And see, the reason that this is in reverse is because they got to talk about it. She's going to have a pointed conversation with him. Okay? Just don't chop his balls off. Don't do it. And to be honest, this is the Kundalini, and in reverse, it hasn't risen. But that's because he's overly masturbating. I mean, he's making love to himself. Or chasing down some thought. Let me not say the rest of that. So, let's talk about this oracle card now. So we have the Four of Cups here in the center, and what it says is romantic feelings, but it's on the grounds of unrequited love. So somebody was under the impression that there was unrequited love because even though there was chemistry, the attraction didn't take it into a relationship. It didn't start a relationship. It just, there's chemistry, but there's no relationship. And so she was under the impression, oh, I have to leave because, of course, here I am chasing down the man who clearly isn't the plan. I don't want to be in the devil's energy. She left it. She has the strength card, not him. And she's like, well, there was an offer on the table here, but it didn't get accepted. Well, frankly, my dear, this offer didn't get accepted because there was legalities to the situation. Karmic justice needed to be served. And look, it's a butterfly. So what does that mean? Transformation. That's my adaptation of the Carly Simon song. Transformation. It's making me late. It's keeping me waiting. So that's what we got. Let me recap. I'm going to recap. So in the third dimension right now, the feminine is waiting on the masculine to take a leap of faith. He's not doing it. He's overly cautious, probably because he's bruised and battered in love. He might also need to figure out what he wants. She feels like she can't collaborate. It's almost like a false start, like a miscarriage, but there's no baby here. There's no ace anywhere in the reading. So what that means is that she just couldn't bring the relationship to fruition. So by the 19th of next month, it ain't gonna happen. But you know what the 19th of next month is? It's the new moon in Sagittarius, conjunct the galactic center, okay? So that might change very much next month, and I do sense it because the sun comes out with the magician. It means it will come together, okay? So in the fourth dimension, what the emotionality of it, that was the ego, by the way. So the heart says this. Listen, do things the right way and I can trust you again, because I was so damn in love with you and you gave me nothing and it broke me. Even though you didn't do anything wrong, I still got broken because I extended myself too much. Okay. Now the way they're gonna do this is it's gonna look like a divine intervention to her, but to him, he needs to take a leap of faith. He needs to get divorced, take a leap of faith, separate, move her out, whatever it is, so that he can take the divine feminine into his home, into his heart, into his life, whatever it is. Different strokes for different folks. Now, archetypally, what's going on is this is a resurrection for the female. For the masculine, he needs to connect with his soul body so that he can see the connection in the heavens. And in the heavens, what it is a past lifetime connection. So these two are a couple on high. But down here on low, they ain't nothing. They ain't shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. It's a family channel. I apologize. Forgive me, please. So yeah, this is someone who's overly cautious, but bruised and broken. I'm hearing bruised and broken. Hey, baby doll, you gotta heal, my homie. You do. You gotta get your healing, get your medicine. You gotta come correct. But it ain't your fault, baby doll. You just gotta do some healing. And, you know, a warrior of love needs to put his heart in his hand and go in the direction of his fears. It's okay to be fearful, but it's not okay to let the fear govern you. You hear what I'm saying? Like, if you can't pick it up and keep it moving, even though you terrified, you ain't know nothing. I'm sorry. You ain't nothing to me. Fuck your fear. Excuse my language. I apologize, but homie, get it together. Get it together. That's how it is. I do feel you're facing your fears, but for some reason, at the current most precise moment, you're still undecided. Maybe you're waiting on that divorce decree. Maybe you're waiting on that child custody agreement. Who knows? I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to end the reading here. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you so much for allowing me the pleasure to do so. Remember that the Divine Lovers series comes out just a couple days after every new moon. Okay? Please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button while you're at it. I appreciate you. Thank you. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. If you're new and haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Thank you for your viewership. If you're a current subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for your current and continued support. Please go ahead and smash that thumbs up button while you're at it. I'm going to go ahead and open the comments for this series for the rest of the year. So share with your friends, share with your loved ones, share with anyone you know going through a divine situation. They're kind of confused. And if anything progresses during the month, come on back to the video and put something in the comment box. Try not to send me an email because I'm changing my business system over and I can't deal with my email right now. So come back to this video if it's about divine love and enter in your experience in a couple of weeks about the reading today in the comment section. Please and thank you, okay? Das vidanya, au revoir, sayonara, avida zain, shwe shwe, moshi moshi, au revoir. Bye, everyone. Bye, lovers. Take good care of yourself. See you next month. Bye.